Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to Rewrite from the Old Tales epilogue. Now, if you have already checked out my other Old Tales OST reaction video, then you already know that I have not played it, so I'm going into this blind again, even if I do have Cinderella. I never even talked to her in the game either, so I have no idea. In any case, if you have a video that you would like me to react to guaranteed, then be sure to request it on my sponsor page, sponsor.app/trailblazer_Didina. Now let's get started. It's her! I'm gonna erase it from my memory. Oh, Goddess Squad! Rewrite. Vocal by AK. In the distance under the breeze of a heart. Oh, the lyrics are by Pernell. I do want to say that Cosmograph and Pernell together, they just make bangers. Also, the vocals are beautiful by AKA. I'm not really sure if I'm supposed to be actually saying the letters here or if I'm supposed to say Aka or something. Let me know down below which one is supposed to be. Oh, so beautiful! How could I ever resist? The idea of hope is definitely strong in here too. I remember in the other one that I reacted to that showed the Cinderella picture, that one also indicated a lot about her not feeling very, I guess, confident or hopeful, but she takes on the will of the others in order to reach hope. That's the message that I kind of got from the previous one. Obviously, it might not actually be the case, depending on what you guys wrote in the comments. But either way, that's what I assumed when I was listening to it. And this one, too, definitely pushes the idea of hope as well, which is a good ending to what we listened to in the previous one. I mean, this is supposed to be the Old Tales epilogue, so I guess that makes sense. Yeah, see here? It's not over as long as we're still breathing. The idea of taking on the next or someone's will and to not give up. I also said in the previous video that the music itself felt so soft, like it was a fairy tale. And this one too also has that quality. Most likely because, you know, Cinderella pretty much is like a fairy tale, or it is a fairy tale, so it's a very soft imagery for both songs in particular. The usage of the instruments that they did and the vocals themselves have a very soft quality. It makes you think of cotton candy or even puffs flying around the sky. That's kind of the imagery you kind of get from listening. It's a very bittersweet. Oh, but the thing is, the previous one, and I'm sorry for pausing multiple times, but the previous song that I listened to had a more bittersweet quality, but this one feels a lot more hopeful and less bittersweet in comparison. It's definitely a song that I would associate with like an epilogue, like peacetime, or at least the start of peace. That's the emotions that I'm getting from this one in particular. Now I do want to focus a little bit more on the instrumental side of things. So a lot of usage with piano. I'm not sure if the song itself, like the actual music score, is done in the walking speed or if it's in a much slower tempo. For now, it seems like it would be in a slower tempo to maybe like with a 4/4 or something, to produce more of that slow, like wind swaying type of feel. But I do like the fact, aside from that, the fact that there's like so lacking in various instruments, mostly focused on piano and vocals. Gives it a more pure quality. Actually, I think this song is basically just piano and vocals. Not that I'm actually like focusing on the instrumentals, I'm pretty sure it's just both of those, which makes it even more beautiful because you can hear each instrument if we, assume that the vocals are an instrument, if we consider it that, then we're hearing both so clearly that it feels so clean. I don't know if you guys like to listen to music that just uses like two instruments, for example, maybe like violin and piano, or vocals and piano, or vocals and guitar, and that's it. And it makes it a lot empty in some ways, or it's a lot thinner of a music, but at the same time, it makes it very clear on what the emotions are, but also it's very simplified in your head so that when you're listening to it, it echoes in some ways. Well, obviously, they use certain techniques to also show the echoing at times on purpose, but when you're just listening to music, whether it's in person or online, and especially if it's in person, and you can hear the instruments extremely clearly, it feels good inside. And I think that's also why I say that it's giving the feeling of more hope rather than bittersweet. I think there was a little bit more effects in the previous song, but here it's very much simple. Piano and vocals, and maybe a tiny bit of effects to like make the echoey sound from time to time, but that's pretty much all I'm hearing. And that makes it a lot more nostalgic, so that when you're like looking at epilogues and that kind of scene, then usually this kind of music, when it plays, it's usually like piano and maybe vocals to keep it clean, and maybe some like drums, depending on like how exciting the epilogue's supposed to be. But if it's like a very like piece focused portrayal type of thing, then it usually tends to be a lot more simplified with the music and how they want to express this piece, which is why I very much like this particular one, because it's so, I suppose, lacking in other instruments. And I feel like nowadays a lot of music tends to be overcomplicated or has a lot of things going on, and there's nothing wrong with that too. I love that kind of stuff too, if I'm gonna be honest. But from time to time, I do enjoy the more simplistic ones, like the songs from the past, or just ones with no vocals, or just the vocals, like a cappella stuff. It just feels like I'm being cleansed of everything, and it makes it a lot more hopeful because of that. Whenever I listen to something that has this kind of melody, you can definitely feel the hope more, because you feel more at peace when you're listening to it. I don't know if you noticed, but in a lot of the lines, when the singer is ending it, the note tends to be a lot higher than what it was before to bring more of that hopeful feeling, especially at this part of the song, much more than the beginning half. Because, for example, if you're playing a piece of music and it ends on a lower note, then it feels like it's going to be depressing, right? But then when you end it on a higher note, it feels more hopeful and happy and, you know, more positive. And it's the same thing throughout. Yeah, basically the entire song is piano and vocals, which again I really enjoy, considering the fact that a lot of music makes they tend to add in a lot of things into it. Not that I mind personally, I like that, but from time to time it's always nice to listen to music like this that is a lot more simpler with the way it's been structured, but also I guess written too. And the lyrics itself was beautiful, so props to Purnell for that. But overall, it is a beautiful masterpiece in my opinion. It might be my favorite so far with the songs in general. I know I said I like to sing for the Queen, and that one is definitely to my taste. But if I were to listen to something continuously just to relax, I think this would be the one that I would choose out of everything. It just feels good. It makes you feel at peace. And I think the songs that can produce that kind of emotion is always a valuable and wonderful thing to experience. So thank you to the viewer who suggested this song to me. I really enjoyed it. And if you enjoyed my reaction, then be sure to give it a like, comment below, subscribe, and share. And if you have a reaction video that you'd like me to react to guaranteed, then go ahead and hop onto my sponsor page. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Gosh darn it, not again. Bye-bye. There we go.